Okay. So beside hips and sciatica, are there any other special requests today that people are working on? Special goals?
And
Hands, yeah, neck, shoulders. Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead and start. Starting on the floor, you can have a cushion if you have one. If not, you can be straight on the floor. But go ahead, yeah, grab a cushion if you have. We'll work on those hips. Okay, so coming to your seat, we're gonna do the bottom of the feet together. Good. Yay. So when we do this one where the soles of our feet are together, that's when having this extra cushion, couch cushion, pillows, anything is really, really helpful. Excuse me. Okay, great. And ideally, I know we may not all have all the props this morning, but ideally we're working to lift our hip bones. You can feel those two bones above our knees. And so that's the purpose of the cushions. Because usually, for most of us, those knees are above those bones, right? And so what that actually causes is it causes that tension and that grip in the pelvis, in the groins. So we want to learn how to relax and release those groins. And sometimes we need extra height, like sitting on a couch, in order to get those hips above the knees, which is perfectly great. So we're going to bring those heels in as close as possible. And this is a great opening in the pelvis and the hips, but it also helps you to stack and align your spine, your vertebra. So as we've worked on in previous classes, see if you can roll onto the front of your pelvis, roll onto the front of your two sit bones. Yes. Good. And notice as you start to go from the back of the sit bones to the front of the sit bones, the spine starts to engage in the muscles. Good. Yes. So TC is a great one for the low back once we're on the front sit bones. It can be strenuous on the low back if we're on the back sit bones. That's what kind of how the low back throws out sometimes. So, but once you're on the front sit bones, boom, everything starts to stack and align. Good. So just see if you can find that, see if you can find the muscles, and even go on the inside of your pants, just move the skin, the tissue, the buttocks, move that out of the way so that we can get on the inside edge and the front edge of your sit bones. Yes, good. And now we're starting to find the strength of the spine. So it's all about the foundation, right? Building a house, if the foundation is lopsided, the house is lopsided. So let's work on that foundation. And now that we have our sit bones, go ahead and extend tall and long, reaching out that top center of your head. Good. And just find more space. And keep going. Just by finding that space, that lift, we're activating our core. We're bringing space and circulation in through the vertebra, which we need that traction on a daily basis. We need to find that space. Good. And then spread wide across your collarbones. So these two bones are reaching towards the outside edges of the room. Reach, lift. Yes, beautiful. And Karen, I saw you getting that shoulder work in. So we're gonna get an external, she's like, I'm learning. We're gonna get an external rotation of your arms. So your upper arms, and yeah, you're welcome to adjust yourself just to get the feeling and the sensation. Good. Okay, so we have our sit bones grounded. We're rolling to the front side of our sit bones, the inside edge. Our spine is getting longer and longer. We're getting that external rotation of our arms. And then go ahead and roll the tops of your shoulders down towards the floor. Anybody starting to get some burning or some toning in through your spine? Mm-hmm. Good, that's good. That's what we want. We do want that achy, grueling development of your muscles. So keep going there. Keep lengthening, keep finding space. And now imagine from your very center sternum that there's a string lifting you upwards and forwards at a 60-degree angle. Your heart, your sternum is lifting. And you're finding that lift from the inside of your chest. So from the inside, you're pushing outwards, making that space. And your palms can be facing up. That's going to help your shoulders. And just notice in your brain how good it feels to start to find that alignment. How much the mind starts to quiet. So keep going. We don't spend enough time working on strengthening the spine in this way. So keep lifting, keep finding that heart opening. It is something that we have to fight for and work for on a daily basis because gravity is constantly taking us and pulling us in the opposite direction. So roll your shoulders down and back. Find that lift in your heart and your sternum. Smooth, deep breaths. And just get a tiny bit taller. And then see if you can spread wide across the chest. We're really opening the heart here. And just feel how good that feels to open up the heart. And anywhere your spine is needing circulation or strengthening, you're going to feel it. It's going to be talking to you. Yeah. Remember, we're on those front sit bones. Yes. Good. And then exhale, relax, release. You were just working strong, toning. Good job. Okay. And now you can bring your feet into simple cross-legged. Go ahead and do right leg in front of left. Great. Okay, working on the shoulders. Go ahead and bring the arms forward, palms facing each other. And see if you can soften any tension in the belly. And again, we're rolling onto those front sit bones, inside edge of your sit bones. We're going to work on that a lot today to get into the back. And those two bones that you sit on, see if you can also spread them wide. And that's going to help us get into our foundation and build that strength all the way up. So even if you just have to start with your imagination, like you're artist, a painter, and you're painting with a paintbrush, and you're finding those two sit bones. And smooth breaths. We're working to warm up the shoulders here. And go ahead and start to engage the muscle to the bone, which is a hard action to find at first. We'll keep searching for it, looking for it, especially in the upper arms. Engage the muscle to the bone. Good. And reach through your pinky fingers, your ring fingers, your middle fingers, your pointed fingers, your thumbs. And that heart is still lifting, so still imagine that there's a string lifting you upwards and forwards. That's connected to your heart, to your chest. Lift. Smooth breathing, especially if it starts to get challenging. See if you can soften your breath. Smooth, deep inhalation through your nose. Smooth, deep exhalation through your nose. Good. Exhale, right arm on top of left arm. And again, it's okay if you can't fully cross, but just get as much movement as you can. Yeah, perfect. Warming it up. So we're still on the inside edges of our sit bones, front edges of our sit bones. Go ahead and draw your elbows away from your face. Lengthen the back of your neck. Breathe into the back of your heart, make more space. Go ahead and soften your face, relax the face. Few more breaths. Get those elbows parallel to the floor. Reaching, extending them away from the face. And then exhale. So that really gets into the neck, into the shoulders. Go ahead and change the crossings of your legs. So bring your opposite leg forward. And now left arm on top of right. Yes. Okay, so we're on, again, our habits, our nature is usually to roll on the back sit bones. Go ahead and do the opposite. Roll on the front sit bones. Good. And again, that will engage and activate the whole spine. Ooh, it's burning. Smooth, deep breath. And we're really working with the body to work with the mind. So when we hit that wall of, oh my gosh, I need to come out, just go a tiny bit further. Smooth breath, reach those elbows away from the face. And exhale, come on out. Great work. Okay, let's come to standing. Back to standing, yes. Okay. So I really want to work with that low back. I know TC, you're working on healing that up. So low back, one of the best things we can do. So I'm going to demonstrate the way that we don't want to do it, just so you have a visual, but don't do it. So the tendency here is for this bone is our sacrum bone, right? Feel that bone at the base of the spine. The tendency is for the sacrum to be reaching down. And then this is the aging process. The sacrum protrudes out, the chest starts to fall forward, right? So here we're gonna do the opposite. Go ahead and just start with your feet
Oh, the other way.
towards each other. Yeah, straight legs. We're gonna get this internal rotation of the thighs. Working to find that anyways. And so keep entwining, keep entwining. And now the sacrum bone, we're gonna draw it forwards towards the front of the room. So sacrum reaching forward, heart lifted, heart open, shoulders rolling back, yeah. And then we want equal opposing actions. So our thighs are reaching back behind us. Thighs back, sacrum forward. Thighs back, sacrum forward. And keep going with those two actions. Welcome. Welcome back, Karen.
Mercury is in retrograde. What can I say?
There we go. So, Miss Karen, we're working on getting the entwining of the thighs. Yes. And then drawing the tops of the thighs to the back of the room. And I want you to engage all the way up. So knees are lifting, kneecaps are lifting, thighs are engaging. Drawing the front of the thigh to the back of the room. And then sacrum bone to the front of the room. Shoulders.
Rita,
Yeah.
does it make a difference how we hold our hands? Because I find if I hold it like this, it hurts. Because I'm,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm a little big here. So I find that if I hold it up
That's
here,
perfect.
it's okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Definitely honor your wrists, your body. That's actually going to help you get that opening of your shoulders. So that's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's find the strength from our foundation, which right now is our feet. So spread your toes wide, all 10 toes. Press through your mound of your big toe. This mound of the big toe. Reach through your inner heels. And then press the outside edge of your foot, the center outside edge. So there's a triangle, big toe, inner heel, outside edge. And even if you find one of the points, but we're just challenging ourselves. See if you can search for them. Right, and then everything develops from the foundation. So we're developing our feet, which is going to translate to our ankles, to our knees, to our hips, to our shoulders, to our neck. Front thighs reaching back, sacrum reaching forward. Okay, good. So I just wanted us to get that concept before we move into the next piece. And the next piece is, so we talked about the sacrum goes out as we start to age naturally, and we're drawing that in. The other thing the sacrum does is it starts to roll down. Okay, so we want to support the low spine and do the exact opposite. So you can do however your hands are comfortable, however your wrists are comfortable, but we're actually going to move the sacrum skin up. So here's the difference on my spine. It's a little hard to see, you can't see the muscles, but sacrum skin down, spine is protruding out. Sacrum skin down, sacrum skin up, muscles are activated. Can you see that difference on the Zoom? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet, that's what we're looking for, so. And see if you can find it, and you can play a little bit TC, I wouldn't play with the sacrum skin down, because that will throw the back out. But lift that sacrum skin up and see if you can find the muscles start to activate on the right side and the left side. One of the best things you can do if you throw your low back out. Okay, so we're working with the two sit bones again, the bones that you're sitting on. And you're reaching through the sit bones. So the sit bones are spreading wide. And yes, the hips will start to burn, spine will start to burn. But see if you can reach through the sit bones to activate and lengthen the spine. And now my low spine is strong, it's activated. But it only goes to about here. So I have to carry that all the way through into my upper spine. So see where your muscles contract and where they don't, and try and draw all the way through your spine. And again, the foundation is the sit bones. Good. Exhale, come on up. Okay, take a little breather. We're gonna go back into it just so we get that muscle memory, but give yourself a break. But do you guys feel that difference in your spine? Right? Yeah, so we're kind of taught to live this way. We're really not taught to strengthen and activate the spine. But if we can find that on a daily basis, it's huge. It's a huge win. So go ahead, come on back. This is the easiest way to find it. It's from here. And then again, it comes from the sit bones. So that sacrum skin, we're lifting it up towards the back of the head. Sacrum skin lifting. Take that length all the way through the top of your head. We're getting that internal rotation of the thighs. And then you're reaching through your sit bones, spreading your sit bones wide. And then lifting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Legs are toning, and this is also going to tone around the sacrum. And exhale, come on up. So we're toning around that sacrum bone, which also starts to address sciatica. Yes, okay, good, come on up. Great, great, great. Okay, so for this next one, you can either do it against a wall or in the middle of the room, whatever feels like more stability for you. I'm going to demonstrate against the wall. Actually, let's be away from the wall for this first one. So legs wide, heels kicked out, toes reaching towards each other. Yeah. And that starts to teach us this internal rotation of the thighs. Keep going with that action, yeah. Okay, so let's press from the outside edges of our feet through the floor. Imagine that you're spreading the floorboards wide through the pressure of your feet. And get a little bit wider stance if you can, everyone. Whatever's at your comfort level. Okay. Heels kicked out. And I want you to rotate from the outside edges of your hips towards your inner groin. And then from your inner groin, you're reaching towards the backs of the thighs. Spreading wide across the backs of the thighs towards the outer edge of the hips. So we're getting that internal rotation. And keep that pressure on your feet. Go ahead and engage your legs so you're lifting kneecaps towards the ceiling. Keep spreading the floorboard wide. And now your tailbone, the base of your spine, go ahead and draw that straight to the floor, like there's a 50-pound anchor on your tailbone. And it's reaching down. It's lengthening towards the floor. You're getting longer. And then equal opposing action. You have the anchor on your tailbone. Now go ahead and start extending upwards, reaching your head up through the ceiling. And through those two opposing actions, you're reaching downwards and upwards at once. Find more space in your spine. Smooth breathing. And this one, we're starting to get into the ankles, the knees, the hips, into the joints. Keep toning here because we're toning all through your joints. And we're still getting that internal rotation of the thighs, opening the backs of the thighs, keep opening them. Find that pressure on the outside edges of your feet. And just like we worked when our legs were together, draw your sacrum to the front of the room and your thighs to the back of the room. Smooth breathing. And again, that's going to give us more space in our joints, in our knee joints, and our spine. And once we have that space, we have that circulation, that blood flow, and that's what starts to heal those tissues. Beautiful. Okay, arms up, palms facing each other, like we worked in the beginning of class. And just keep imagining that the front of your thighs are reaching to the back of the room. And that your sacrum is reaching to the front of the room. Smooth, deep breathing. You're actually just going deeper and deeper into your body. So these actions are infinite. There's no end to them. You just keep finding them and working them. Front of the thighs, reaching to the back of the room. Feet pressing evenly. Really find that equal pressure in your feet. Backs of your thighs opening. Sacrum reaching to the front of the room. Inhale, take your arms wide, palms facing up. Good. Legs are still strong and toning and activated. Front of the thigh reaching to the back of the room. Palms facing up. Try and align your shoulders with your elbows, with your wrists. Peek over to each side, see if there's a difference. Yeah. And we're getting that external rotation of your arms. So imagine that your thumbs are hitchhiking back behind you to help you get that opening of your shoulders. Rolling the top shoulders down the body, down the back body. Front heart, front chest, lifting upwards and forwards. And hands on your hips or to your side. You see how it took all of that foundational work of working with our feet, working with our legs, working with our pelvis before we could even get up into those shoulders. So keep opening those shoulders. Smooth breathing. And just stand nice and tall right now, where your heart is open. Heart is lifting. And again, you're lifting from inside the chest, pushing upwards and forwards and outwards. External rotation of those arms. Good. And then hands on your hips. You can micro bend your knees. Just take a gentle bend of your knees. And then we're coming to tabletop. Yeah, bend those knees more. And it's the same thing here. So stay where you are. I just want to demonstrate. Again, sacrum could be reaching down and I'm compromising my low back, but I bend those knees, lift that sacrum, and then really work through those sit bones. So yeah, yes, reach through the sit bones, equal pressure in the feet. So now you're spreading the floor wide with the pressure of your feet. And now take that length in your spine. So open all the way through your heart, reach out the top of your head. Now the spine is activated. Now we're finding the spine. And exhale. Draw those hands towards the floor. TC, you might want to keep your hands on hips just to keep that work going. And open the heart. Yes. So your scapulas, your shoulder blades, they're reaching towards the floor. Reaching through your heart, through your back, towards the floor. And then hands up. Gently walk your feet together. Oh yeah. Okay, how are we feeling that activation in the spine?
It's activated.
What's that?
I said, it's activated.
Oh, it is activating. Good, good. Okay. A little bit more spine work today. I'm working on those legs. So we're gonna take your left leg, point your toes away from you, towards the side of the room. And then your right leg, your toes are facing towards the front of the room. Go ahead and kick that right heel out. And ideally, we do want some width here, some length here. So go to the length that is comfortable for you. Okay, arms are up. So again, our left toes, our front toes are facing towards the side of the room. And yet our chest is square with the front of the room. And you can always be against a wall for this, for extra balance. And then that front leg, we're gonna get an external rotation. So your inner groin is rolling towards your outer hip. Arms are up. Go ahead and look towards your left hand. Yet your chest is still square with the front of the room. And then your right leg is getting an internal rotation. So internal rotation of the back leg, external rotation of the front leg. And then reach that left arm as much as you can. Draw it down towards your shin. Other hand on your hip or up, whichever you prefer. And now we're twisting, rolling the heart up towards the ceiling. Twisting your belly button up towards the ceiling. And again, you can always do this against a wall to find your balance. So important for getting into the low back and the sacrum. And again, the hand can be up or it can be on your hip. And you can be looking up with your neck or looking down. Whatever works for you. And you're gonna get that external rotation of the front leg, internal rotation of the back leg. And just keep allowing your belly button and your heart to twist up towards the ceiling. Smooth, soft breathing. Finding that external rotation of your arms. And then reach out the top of your head, find more length in your side waist. And exhale, press into the back leg to come up. Good, and we're just gonna rearrange your feet. Both feet are facing forward. Now your right foot is facing the side of the room. Okay? So left foot facing forward, right foot facing the side of the room. Good. And then your back leg, your left leg is getting that internal rotation. And your front leg is getting the external rotation. So let's just work to find that first. Internal rotation of your back leg, external rotation of your front leg. Does anyone have questions on that? Does that make sense? And then arms out. Imagine that you have wings. So imagine your scapulas, your shoulder blades, they're spreading wide. So make more space behind your heart. Reach through your fingertips. And then go ahead, reach with that right arm, reaching it forwards, dropping it onto your shin. And then your left hand can come on your hip or up. And let's go back to our legs. Your front leg is getting an external rotation, as well as your front arms, or both arms. And your back leg is getting an internal rotation. Smooth breathing. And if your hand is up, you can bring it to your hip. And we're gonna twist the belly button and twist the chest up towards the ceiling. Rolling, rotating. External rotation of your arms. External rotation of your front leg. Internal rotation of your back leg. Find that pressure of your back foot. And then exhale, press with your back leg to come on up. Good. And square the feet. And slowly bring those feet together. So we do start to dissect in through that sacrum, the pelvis, rearranging everything, rearranging that low back in all the ways that we want to. Okay, does anybody have a chair? Preferably without wheels. But as long as you're stable. Okay. So we're gonna keep working this low back. I'm gonna demonstrate first. All right. So we just want a stable chair or countertop or tabletop, anything that works. And then I'll just demonstrate first. So I'm square with the chair. Again, I'm aware of my sacrum. It's not reaching towards the ground, right? I'm lifting it to activate and tone the spine. Just this is so much work. So we'll work here. And then we're going to bring one leg up. And the tendency here. The tendency here is for this hip to shoot out. But we actually want the pelvis square. Imagine that there's a level on my pelvis, it's square. And that back of the leg is open versus my pelvis tilted, right? Okay, we got it. So come on down. Yeah, we're just gonna start with feet about hips width apart, which is actually about 2 fists wide. So feet about 2 fists wide. Hands are on the edges of the chair. And again, we're gonna bend those knees because we want to work with the spine here. So sit bones are reach through your sit bones. Reach your sit bones up to the ceiling. Heart is opening. This one's so nice because you can start to find that external rotation of your arms. Knees again are just slightly bent. And then that sacrum skin is reaching towards the back of your head. Heart open, heart lifting. Draw the southern tips of your scapulas towards the floor, meaning you're opening your heart. Good. Once you have that foundation, you can straighten those legs. And draw the right leg up. Again, you can keep that left leg a little bit bent. But imagine that there's a level on your pelvis. And you want to keep it level. Or if there was water on your back, you wouldn't want it to fall. And exhale, come down. Bring the feet together. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Again, working on that level pelvis. So open the back of your thigh. You're getting the internal rotation of your left legs, or both legs really. Drop that leg down. Inhale, opposite leg up. Reach through your toes, reach through your head. External rotation of your arms. Exhale, leg down. Pause here for a moment. Inhale, opposite leg up. Reach through the whole body, engage the entire body. Exhale that leg down. Focus on your arms for a second, get that external rotation. Draw your scapulas towards the floor. Inhale, right leg up. Smooth breathing. Reach your heart open. Exhale that leg down. Inhale, left leg up. And now just got your own pace and your own rhythm. Let's see if you can sync it up with your breath. Inhale, leg up. Reach through. Exhale, leg down. Inhale, opposite leg up. Extend through. Exhale, leg down. So keep going at your own pace with your breath. And one more on each side. Good. Exhale down. Okay, so that's some low back work, all right? I love that one. That one's really helpful. Okay, go ahead and come seated on the floor. You won't need your chair anymore. Perfect. So, this one, we're just gonna get our legs wide. Good. Okay. And then inch yourself forward to get those legs a little bit wider. We're trying to get as obtuse of an angle as possible. And again, let's work with our feet. So we're pressing through the mounds of our big toes, reaching through our toe tips. This groin, the steel cables reaching towards the floor. So we're still getting that internal rotation of our thighs. And then exhale, push yourself a little bit forward. Get a little bit wider. Smooth breathing. Good, and we're just getting into the knee joints here, giving them space. And see if you can pick one point that you learned today and apply it to this pose. So maybe it's the sit bones. Maybe it's that sacrum skin lifting. Maybe it's the heart opening. Belly softening, face softening. And draw the knees towards the floor. Imagine that you're going to bust through the floor with your thighs. And keep drawing this outside edge of your knee towards the floor. And just make more space in that knee joint. And then, do you have a new awareness of your sit bones? Can you get equal weight on the two sit bones? Or at least just notice if there's a difference. Good. And then we're going to grab the inside of our knees to move our legs. You're going to pretend like you can't use your legs. Yes. Awesome. And we're going to come lying on our backs. Well deserved. So try not to be touching anything else around you, just so you don't have that stimulation on your nervous system, and just come flat on your back. Palms are facing up. You can always put a pillow under your knees if you need it. But here we're just going to learn how to surrender, learn how to relax, learn how to let go. It's actually the hardest pose. It's rated the hardest. So soften your face. Imagine that your side temples are opening like horse's eyes. Go ahead and release your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Soften the jaw, soften the throat. Soften the forehead. And just feel yourself melting into the ground. You're like a stick of butter melting in the sunshine. Feel the floor supporting you. supporting your wrists, your elbows, your hips, your ankles, your knees, the back of your head. And just allow yourself to relax into that support. You're caught, you're held, you're safe. The ground's got you. Life has you. And allow yourself to soften into a state of receptivity. Feel that unconditional love of your grandma or nature. And just allow yourself to surrender to that feeling. Going deeper and deeper into that state of unconditional love. Exploring it. And then take a nice deep breath, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Yeah. Breathe from the base of your feet all the way to the top of your head. And go ahead and roll over to your right side. And then push yourself up to seated. And coming up, yeah, rolling out. Good, beautiful. How's that? How is that practice of surrender for you?
It's mind blowing for me. And wow, I kind of feel it's something I need to do every day now, really, because it just releases so much tension. Releases just, I mean, you just melt away, like you say, you're just kind of melting and you just feel so calm and peaceful, and it's just nothing like it. I think I need to do it every day.
Yes, do it, do it. And we're
I
all,
feel the same. Oh, I was about to say,
Yeah.
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel the same, but I had to laugh at first because I said, "How does Coach Rita know what I'm doing?" Because she was like, "Take your tongue off the roof of your mouth," and just saying different things. But once I did it, oh my God, I felt I was melting. So it was like it's something that I need to work on as well. So
Yeah.
yes, it was a amazing experience.
I love that.
And it's funny for me, I could, when you said melting, I felt something here. And and then my mind was going, go check with your hand. What was on your tummy? But then I went back into that mode of no, stay where you were. It is melting. So it's like almost like a mind shift right there. Be aware it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an incredible feeling.
What's that?
It was an incredible feeling of awareness that I need to accept as it's happening. If it's said, it is being done. And so that was an awareness, and not to go and second guess it. Is there something on me? That was a mind shift for me right now. So I just want to acknowledge that.
I love that, I love that. And I love the visual of like the butter melting in the sun, because you can see it if you're visual, and then you can really start to feel it like, oh yeah, you can release. And the idea that we're caught, right? Like that ground is supporting us. We're held, we're caught, life's got us. Like that's an active practice of surrender. That takes daily practice, eh?
Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah.
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 I echo what everyone is saying. I like what Karen said about it being feeling like a daily practice. It would be beneficial because it's so grounding. Like it felt like ground me. And like what TC was saying about like how does she know? Like it's amazing how intuitive you are as you're doing it to know what to say to us so that we can engage. And I couldn't believe it when you said your grandmother's unconditional love, because that is profound for me. Like my grandmother was my mentor, and her love was the most unconditional love I've ever felt. So when you said that, I'm like, oh my goodness, is she in my, like, how does she know what to say? Right. So yeah, it's what an amazing experience. It really is an amazing experience and feels so healing, so much healing. Yeah.
I love that. And I'm so glad you could
Mm.
connect with your grandmother in the way, in that way. Because that was the same for me. Like I just remember holding my grandma's hand and being like, oh, I just feel such a profound state of unconditional love. So I'm glad that you have that too.
Wow. I wish I would have heard that. I probably was asleep by then. Okay.
Yeah, that's good too. That's good too. You're surrendering.
Yes.
I love it. Does anyone have any other takeaways from class today, or something that you want to, like one little nugget that you want to apply into your day? Either of those.
For me, and this is something I was working on even before uplift, I've actually fallen twice down my stairs, right? So I kind of try to make it to make myself be present in the moment. And with this, oh my goodness, it's like you keep me present, like keeping me aware, bringing me back to center. So it's helping me, because like sometimes I'll be like one step at a time, because my mind I want to go ahead and go, but that's how I fail a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you just keeping me present. Like I said, take your tongue off the roof of your mouth, or do this and do that. So you're bringing me back to like, because I didn't even realize that I was, what is that? Like, we're just protecting ourselves in different parts of our body like that, even our tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That is,
Exactly. I mean, we've literally learned how to protect ourselves since what, preschool, whatever. You know, kindergarten, somebody said something mean and you're like, oh. So we've learned how to protect ourselves since we were little. And so this is an unwinding for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to say that I had every intention of keeping my video off because I just did not feel that I could do the poses to the extent that I knew you would need us to do them. Then I saw you on here and I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna do my best to, stay on video and do it correctly. And I guess I did. I guess I did okay. And but it's just never amazes me. I mean, it really felt like a workout. I mean, it was percolating and all the perspiration. And I did a whole lot of praying so that I could get through it. And I'm thanking God that I got through it and that I stayed because, I know the work is going to be intentional. I know it's going to be challenging, but I know the benefit afterwards. So that's why I'm just so glad that I just continue to show up and that all of you show up. And that just motivates me to show up. So,
And no
Coach
judgment.
Rita and everyone else.
No judgment. We do what we can do, and
Judgment.
yeah, there's no comparison, there's no judgment.
Nope.
It's just honoring your own body.
Amen. Amen.
And as a wise yoga master that I had a pleasure of also working with at one time. And I remember going in, Rita, and I saying, you know, because everyone has different body types, and I'm coming in with this, you know, my body conscience, and it was my daughter who pulled me in, and I said, you know, I've never done yoga, and all she said was, it's your practice. When I heard the word practice, it's the way you choose to show up. It's the way you choose to move the body. It's the way you choose to put your mind in that moment. And I thought, and I'll be honest, when I would do my poses, people were doing their, you know, that kind of thing. I'm still laying on the floor. I'm still laying on the floor, or I'm doing a child pose, or I'm doing a cobra. But I was always listening, as I do with you, Rita, and I really appreciate, I don't want to ever take that for granted, that you are at the head, you know, speaking through us. And even though if I choose not to do that move, it's not contrary to my teacher, it's me honoring my body and what it can do at that moment in time. And so I just want to encourage everyone that we realize that's why it's called a practice. I used to wonder, why do you call it yoga practice? Yeah, because every day is a new awareness. And you said it so beautifully so many times, and I thank you for that. Today, your right side might not work as much as the left side, and so forth. And so again, it's helping me when you've done that, is awareness, because we tend to go backwards, right? It's bring it. So thank you. I wanted to say right now, sorry, I'm talking to me. Forgive me. But I want to say thank you for everyone that showed up, because Karen, I was going to do the same thing, and I was going to be offline and use an excuse. And, you know, my son was home. He just left. So please forgive me. I didn't realize I left myself on mute. But if you heard the car running off, but he had left, and I was trying to be so quiet because I didn't want no bombing, no fireworks with him. But I knew I had to do it. So Rita, thank you for showing up for us. Thank you to each and every one of you guys for showing up for not only for Rita, but for me. So as always, that's up.
And my
Amen.
last little comment, from the first week that I was with you, Rita, when I thought it was like very challenging to me doing wall work modifications last week, even though it's still going to be an intensive work, I can definitely feel the strength in like 3 weeks, even though I wasn't fully able to engage each time. It's like, I can definitely feel the strength. So it's going to motivate me to keep coming back. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
I'll
And
be
I
back.
just want praise the Lord. I just wanted to say the chair work. Oh man, that was amazing for my hands. It's like it just totally woke my hands up. So I think that's probably something I need to incorporate as well. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you.
Yes, keep working on that, because you can get the external rotation to get into your shoulders. That one's huge for you. And I love what everyone's saying, like, come
1 minute.
you are. You know, this is
Yes,
a safe space. There is no judgment. Come as you are. There's been
I
times when
love
I'm
it.
in class and like I had to be on a chair, you know, because I had to modify it so much. It doesn't matter, because you're still getting the work. You're still getting what you need from it. Even if like the final pose is here and we're here, we're trying, we're getting the work in, you know, so.
Absolutely. And I remember when Sandy came on, I thought she said she was just going to look. And I said to myself, I mean, look and listen. And I said to myself, she's going to still get something, even if she doesn't move by your instructions, what you're telling her to do. So I said to myself, she would still benefit, even if she didn't do anything
Oh,
other
totally.
than
Yeah,
listen.
but then
Other than listen.
I challenged myself and did it. So
All
yeah.
right.
So
Good
I
for
I
you.
came to watch, and I actually did it. So
All
Yes,
right.
Sandy.
Yay, yay,
It,
yay,
it is
Sandy.
contagious, though. It is
Yes.
contagious like that.
Yes, it is. Love it.
I love it. I love it. Beautiful. And yeah, it's an inward practice, you know, it's actually really an inward practice. So keep going. Keep
great,
showing.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thanks for taking the time to be together, to show up for yourselves, to show up for each other, to show up for your practice. Especially those days it's hard to show up calm. Those are the days we need it the most. So yeah, and thanks for being on screen.
You're welcome.
Do that and love you
We
all.
love you too, Jennifer. We know you back there.
Jennifer,
Jennifer.
thank you, Coach Rita. Thank you, Sandy. Oh,
Namaste.
Natalie.
Thank you. Bye, Coach
Okay,
Rita.
thank you, Paulina. Thank you,
Have a great
Karen.
day.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you,
Andrea,
Jennifer.
Have a
Sam.
great day.
Love you
Love you
guys.
all.
Maybe I'll
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow. Maybe
Same
I'll see
here.
you
11
tomorrow.
o'clock.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.